need to text me more often.
Oh, sure.
Well, okay, so here's, during COVID and whatever else, we record our show remotely, and one of the ways that we do it is using our cell phones.
Right.
And I always call you, you lazy bum, and the way that I do it is by the way that I typically call anyone, unless it's like a weird out of the box, I haven't talked to this person in years type of phone call, is I open my text messages and I scroll down to whatever point in the last week or two that I texted that person.
Okay.
And I just click the thing and I call them. Did you know every week when I go to call you, I have to scroll back to the beginning of February? It's now the end of May. I mean, we do most of our correspondence through Messenger.
I was just going to say, because, that's funny, because I guess just the actual, if we're getting nitpicky, the actual text messages, it's probably been a coon's age, but... Yeah, we just use other...
And we used to text more. I don't know what's happened. We used to text more often.
I mean, I don't know if it really matters. We're still communicating.
Well, it matters to Mark Zuckerberg.
And I guess it matters. And I guess it matters
winning.
for the ease of you calling me. So I will send you just even a text to be like, "Hey, check your Facebook Messenger, you bum."
Yeah, just like once a day when you get up or whatever. Just shoot me a text like, "Good morning."
Okay. Cool.
You know? Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Hello and welcome.
Welcome to the show, everyone. Welcome to the show. We are the Movie Men podcast.
Only because we weren't quick enough on the ball to call ourselves the Disney Dudes, but that's it's a shame.
Yeah. There's maybe someday we'll kind of do a cross stream and do something else. I don't know.
Sorry, did you say maybe Sunday?
Maybe someday.
Oh.
Or this.
I got excited.
Or this Sunday, I guess. I don't.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Well.
Sure.
All right. I'll mark my calendar.
Yeah. But yeah, welcome to the show, everyone. We've got an episode this week. We're continuing our series on the Batman cinematic world, I guess you'd call it. So we're just reviewing all the different Batmans and reviewing them as they came out chronologically. And this is the next chapter today, where we're doing obviously, as the title indicates, the 1995 Batman Forever.
And we're doing it because outside of the Christopher Nolan films, you hadn't seen any of them.
Right. Yep, that's right.
So there's it's an exploratory mission for you.
Very much so. Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So should we just jump right in?
Sure. I do have some trivia. I mean, with this, it feels weird. You'll probably know it, or you'll be like, well, A, that's wrong, and B, and then you'll give me the right answer. But I will still try to stump you, and then even if I don't stump you, maybe the audience will be like, oh, I didn't know that.
Oh, fun fact. Yeah, all
right. So, obviously, as we find out in this episode, there is a Robin. There's a Robin, and there was an actor who played the Robin, quite obviously, who was considered for Robin. So I'm going to give you 4 names, and it's actually 3 are real. So 3 people were considered, and then 1 is a fake. I want you to see if you can spot the fake one. Okay.
Okay.
So you see where I'm going with this. So.
Yep. Sean Connery. Nicolas Cage.
Okay, listen. Besides those 2 who were considered.
Okay. Right. Besides the obvious.
I'm just getting images of Sean Connery from this film, doing backflips at the circus and just
Hey man, you can CGI, you can do anything now.
I don't know if you could in 95 though.
Well, we would have forgave it. We would have been like, it's Sean Connery in tights. That's
just what we need. Okay, so 3 real, 1 fake. So Leonardo DiCaprio. Ewan McGregor, Christian Bale, Keanu Reeves. So considered for Robin, 3 real, 1 fake.
Huh. Okay. Run them by me again.
You bet. Leonardo DiCaprio, Ewan McGregor,
Yeah.
Christian Bale, Keanu Reeves.
Okay. Let's break this down.
Do it.
So, both Ewan McGregor and Leo DiCaprio
Okay.
are sort of fan favorites on our show. They're sort of reoccurring themes.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
We talk about them a lot. We enjoy them.
We sure do.
Christian Bale is interesting for obvious reasons. Keanu Reeves. Huh. I don't. Oh gosh, I don't even know where to. So I mean, Leo.
You got to take a shot
Leo
in the dark.
was sort of had just done Romeo and Juliet, or was like coming off of Romeo and Juliet,
Or I think actually about to go into, because that might have been
or
96.
maybe about to go into it.
Regardless, right around there.
What the hell was Christian Bale up to?
Mer-
What was Ewan McGregor up to? He was still 4 years away from Phantom Menace.
yeah. Christian Bale was like doing the voice in Pocahontas.
Right.
Keanu Reeves was, I don't know, I guess just starring in Sandra Bullock movies about buses that are on the run or something. I don't know.
Yeah, okay. I'm going to go with The Outlier, the one that it wasn't.
Yep.
I'm going to go with Christian Bale.
Okay. According to my sources, it was actually Keanu Reeves was the outlier. So for Robin,
Okay.
for Robin, Leonardo DiCaprio was considered, McGregor was considered, Bale was considered, and apparently they dropped some names here. Matt Damon, Mark Wahlberg, Jude Law were all considered as well. Keanu Reeves was apparently, and you might know more about this, considered, quote unquote, for Bruce Wayne, amongst others, but not for Robin. So I don't know about Leo. I'm trying to picture it, and you know much of a fan I am for DiCaprio, and actually I think it would have been okay. The more I'm thinking about it.
Yeah, sure.
Some other quick things that I just want to rip by. Apparently, and confirm if this is true or not, but I read that Michael Jackson lobbied quite hard for the role of the Riddler, but was turned down.
Yeah, Michael Jackson has a history of wanting to just play characters in movies and like really going after roles, and famously getting shot down, like laughed out of the room.
Oh, really? Wow. That's unfortunate. Something other juicy thing. What's that?
I just said, is it? Like, I mean, what film are you thinking to yourself, you know what this is missing? You know what route they could have gone? Should have gone.
Listen. I hear what you're saying. I'm definitely not going, this is missing a little bit of that. I'm just not.
Schindler's List. Almost a masterpiece. Almost.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm just trying to tiptoe around being polite, and there's when people have passed away and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah.
Apparently, so Warner Brothers, as you know, bypassed Burton for this ep, and apparently Sam Raimi to some degree was considered. Is that true or false? Like, I'm asking you. That's what I read, and you're confirming that it's true. Okay. Yep. Wow. I mean, if that had been, I wonder if we would have had Tobey Maguire be Batman. I don't know.
or well, I mean, maybe not. but you may not have gotten a Tobey Maguire Spider-Man series.
Oh. Okay.
Just depending on,
Sure.
you know, if they
Right.
said, you know, maybe it's, who knows? Who knows what having, you know, some 6-7 years prior to doing Spider-Man, who knows what a different trip into the world of comic book movies could have done.
Yeah, and there's even the typecast issue of someone saying, hey, you know, Toby, you know, you were just Batman like 4 or 5 years ago. We're going to have to get a fresh face for this. So, yeah, that's interesting. That really would have had a ripple effect. Potentially.
Oh, no. I mean, just in general, Sam Raimi might not have done it either.
Oh, I see that as well. Okay, yeah. Yeah, potentially.
Right? He may have been comic book fatigued by that point.
Yeah. Yeah, who knows? Well, I'm glad. That's a little scary to me. You know how I love me some Sam Raimi Spider-Mans.
Yeah, especially, yeah. No, I know. You're like, your poster of Topher Grace as Eddie Brock on the...
I love Sam Raimi's 2-part series of Spider-Man. It's so good.
The
2-parter.
Part 1 and 2. Yeah.
Part 1 and 2. All right. Yeah, so yeah, let's get into it.
Okay, I have a piece of trivia for you.
I'm ready.
Fantastic. So in this film you have 2 villains.
Sure.
Carrying on the tradition from Batman Returns.
Right, you do. Yep.
And played by Jim Carrey and Tommy Lee Jones.
True.
This was their first time working together.
Okay.
And Tommy Lee Jones loved working with Jim Carrey so much that he tried to get Jim Carrey a role in which film?
Okay. Let's do it.
Men in Black 2.
Yeah.
The Fugitive.
And sorry, specifically Men in Black 2?
2. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay, so that or The Fugitive. Okay.
Fugitive, or the Man of the House, the one where he's a cheerleader,
Right.
or he's like a U.S. Marshal type thing.
I gotta go Men in Black 2, just because no matter how much you like someone, I just don't see Jim Carrey, the way he's perceived by some, or especially at that time, I don't see people having him to sign up in a thriller murder mystery like The Fugitive at that time. I'm not saying Jim Carrey couldn't do it. I'm just saying I'm not sure people would have bought on. So I'll go that he fought for Men in Black 2 to have him join on.
Trick question.
Oh.
Tommy Lee Jones
Okay.
hated working with Jim Carrey.
Oh, wow.
Thought that Jim's personality, his comedy sensibilities, it was agony working with him. And he swore that he would never, ever work with, speak to, be in the same room as Jim Carrey ever again.
Have they ever patched it up to this day? That's insane.
I mean, why would you? I don't know.
I mean,
But yeah.
it's Jim Carrey. Oh,
So here's a question for you.
yeah.
I had not a trivia. We're past trivia.
Yes.
So I had alluded in the past. The last time we spoke, I said, yeah, you know, Warner Brothers got some cold feet, and wanted to go in a less dark, less violent direction this time around.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, enter the departure of Tim Burton, and then subsequently Michael Keaton.
Insert sad emoji.
Insert Joel Schumacher as the director.
Right.
And what is effectively a toy commercial, a 2-hour toy commercial.
Yeah.
But here's what's bizarre. Here's what's bizarre to me, and unfortunate in a lot of ways. If I said to you, going into this, zero context, if I said, hey, Pete, when I come over tonight, I'm bringing a movie for us to watch.
Sure.
And you say, sweet, what are we watching? And I said, well, I'm not going to tell you what it is, but I'll tell you who's in it. And you say, okay. And I say Val Kilmer from Top Gun.
Yeah.
Nicole Kidman.
From Tom Cruise's Wedding.
From, Tommy Lee Jones.
Right. Oh, like from the movie where there's an old man yelling at kids on his lawn. Okay.
Yep. Jim Carrey.
Right. Yeah.
Drew Barrymore.
Yes. Yeah, that kind of snuck in there.
Yeah, and I'd be like, so that's what we're gonna watch.
It's incredible.
What would your thought be about this film?
I'll tell you what my thought was when I literally was watching the credits, because I knew this. I had an awareness, but it was almost comical. Like a big name would come across in letters on the screen, and then another, and another, and another, and it just didn't let up. Like it was just like kept hitting you in the face. And I think I would have been surprised that, back to your scenario here, I would have been surprised once you pop the DVD in thinking, oh, like a superhero movie to have all these films. I probably would have thought like maybe like a 1990s version of like Love Actually or something.
Sure. Not this turd.
What?
Of a film.
What?
You wouldn't expect this turd of a film to be what played on the TV. Okay, listen.
So you don't like this?
Batman Forever.
You don't? Wow, that is.
Okay, well, no. Okay, so hang on. Batman Forever.
Oh my goodness.
Is not a train wreck. When looking at the Batman franchise as a whole, when comparing it to what's yet to come, Batman Forever is not that bad. When simply comparing it to Batman and Batman Returns, it leaves a great deal to be desired.
Oh wow. Yeah.
Is my, you know.
Yep.
So talk to me. You'd never seen this film before. You're kind of moving through you're fleshing out your lexicon of Batman movies.
Right.
And you sit down, you watch this, and what are your thoughts?
Well, so I'll bounce it back to last episode a bit. So when we watched and reviewed, obviously, the Batman Returns, I was disappointed with Batman Returns. I just really was. I didn't enjoy it as much as you did. I didn't enjoy it as a lot of Batman fans do enjoy it. Like, it's got a reputation, so I feel like I'm maybe a bit of an outlier. So I was disappointed with the last installment. And in my mind, I thought we had hit rock bottom. I was like, okay, this is it.
Nowhere to go but up.
Nowhere to go but up. And one more thing about Batman Returns. I don't think I will ever need to watch it again. I'm not saying I won't, but I can't foresee myself at this point in my life ever sitting down being like, you know what? I think I need to watch.
You know what I'm craving?
Yeah. When I watched Batman Forever, I was pleasantly surprised.
What is happening? Okay.
After some time, I could see myself potentially, the mood would have to be right and like everything would have to align, but I could see myself potentially watching Batman Forever again. Not in the same level as like Christian Bale, like the two Christian Bale Batman movies, 1 and 2, where I, maybe once every couple years I'll watch them. Not in that territory, but I could absolutely see myself watching Batman Forever again someday. Or if someone was like, if there was like that specific person that for some reason I felt the need to watch it with them, and again, it would have to be really specific, but I could see myself watching it again. You hit on it. It's star-studded. It's a comic book movie, so it's silly, it's fun, it's got some ups and downs, but there were some good performances by these actors. And again, not my favorite that I've seen so far, but it was passable. The villains weren't perfect, but we'll get into this. But Jim Carrey just pulls his dang weight, and
he's the MVP of this movie.
He
for sure.
is insanely good. And I found there were some decent supporting roles. Nicole Kidman was good. Robin was decent.
Yep.
Alfred was decent. Yep. And you know what? It's still another chapter in the Bruce Wayne journey. And I didn't mind Val Kilmer. So, I mean, all these things together, there was just something about Batman Returns that just didn't hit it for me. There's something that was just more passable and not unenjoyable to this chapter. So, for some reason, it clicked. Yeah.
It's definitely, I mean, it's more, it feels more like something pulled from the pages of a comic book.
Okay. Yeah.
Just because of the colors and like, you know, there's you've got like the neon gang all of a sudden, which so much of this film feels like a intentional contrast to Tim Burton, right? You've got these bright colors.
Right. Yep.
A very lively, in a lot of ways, a very lively city. Still a weird city, like architecturally and stuff.
Sure.
But a very lively city versus Tim Burton's Gotham, which is far more, gothic and yep. dark and desolate and gray. Yeah, you know, it's like I said. There's crap to come. I ultimately, for me, Batman Forever kind of like walks the line of what I love and what I hate. Not even hate, but what is just clearly bad. And it's weird. It falls into this. I don't think that Batman Forever is a good movie. I don't.
Sure.
I think it's for a lot of reasons. I think it's got screwy dialogue. I think Tommy Lee Jones clearly completely phoned in his performance. Just did not want to be there. Basically was like, a character that has the ability to have so much depth.
Yeah.
I think he basically looked at Jack Nicholson's Joker performance and said, okay, I can do that. Because that's it feels like he's just doing a Jack Nicholson Joker impression a lot of the time.
And while you're on that, I won't agree or deny what you're stating about about Tommy Lee Jones, whether he added or took away from the role at all. But I will say, just as I will point out, whether he did that or not, whether he phoned it in or not, I feel like there was some things that were a little bit. He had a bit of a glass ceiling. He could only do so much because, as far as like backstory, like his backstory was confined to like literally a 30-second news segment that someone was watching on TV, and by 30 seconds, it was more like 10 seconds. You know what I mean? So. Again, the only Two-Face that I know is from The Dark Knight, so I'm just going to say this, and I could be wrong with the comics or not aligned with that, but at least with that Two-Face, you get some screen time with him before, during, and after of him kind of transitioning. So you get there's more potential built into the actual written role for the actor to work with, as with this, like Tommy Lee Jones is just kind of thrown in, and we're just kind of like, okay, this is him, I guess. But
right, so the origin story in this for Two-Face is more in line with sort of a traditional comic book origin for Two-Face.
Okay.
Acid, it like the acid in the face,
right?
And visually more, sort of this like cartoony. Either purple or often in like the animated series gray, but like this very like very distinct line down his face.
Yeah.
You know, and this like very clear talking to himself, split personality.
Right.
He's a Batman. He's a villain. He's a superhero villain, right? And so he is one of the more theatrical villains for sure.
Sure.
Just in his demeanor and stuff like that. New Batman theme. So the Batman theme has changed.
Oh yeah, that's right.
That is a whole new soundtrack. What are your thoughts on that? You're a soundtrack guy.
I am a soundtrack guy. You know, I definitely did enjoy not Michael Keaton, the Tim Burton theme that
Danny Elfman.
Yeah, that we were just really kind of introduced to, and you know, it really. This one wasn't bad. It just didn't have any moments that you really got behind or that you really could kind of hang your hat on or say, "Ooh, like this is something I'll walk out of the theater humming." So I think it's just kind of neutral for me. It wasn't bad, wasn't as good as what we've seen, or what is as good as what we will see in the Dark Knight trilogy.
Yeah, okay. Sure.
What?
I don't like Hans Zimmer's Batman score.
Yeah.
But and new Batmobile. Whole new Batmobile.
Right. So this is the toy I grew up with. We've come to it at last.
Yes. Me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah.
And so I like it just because it's nostalgic.
Sure.
And I mean that's kind of where, you know, that's kind of where it died. Like my allegiance lies with Michael Keaton's Batmobile.
Well, and even from a technicality perspective, like this Batmobile literally just has a resting, like a constant flame out the back. And other than that, like it's no different than a black car for essentially what we see. Like I felt in the previous two films, it was like every other scene where some kind of pinch Batman would be in, and this car would have a mechanism to kind of get him out of it. Like, you know,
the car was almost a character.
The car was almost a character. Like every other scene, he was doing something that, like, hey, someone's going to hit it with a baseball bat. Someone's going to shoot a rocket at me. You know, like all these different things. It's like, oh, there's a button for that. There's a mechanism for that. Literally in this film, it had the flame. It was kind of cool, but it was just it just got people from A to B, and that was its feature.
Right. A couple of questions for you. What are your thoughts on opening suit up montages where we focus in on like butts and stuff for seemingly no reason?
So it was for completely no reason. I was just at a loss. There were two things in this film that I put under the category, did this just happen? Was a one-liner by Batman when Alfred was asking Master Wayne, you know, would you like some food? Would you like something to eat?
Yeah.
And then he says, Can I
at least convince you to take a sandwich with you?
Yeah. Sir? And then he's like, I'll get drive-through. And I'm like,
yeah, no thanks.
Okay.
I'll get drive-through.
Okay. Like, no, like that's not even funny. Like, yeah, it was definitely a setup line. Like, come on. And then the other thing was definitely the bat suit buttock zoom in that I just was really scratching my head going, oh, okay, that just happened. All right.
What about the deeper exploration of Bruce's psyche and him sort of not being not being the most well put together toy in the toy chest?
You know, I don't know if this is the most well done segment or the most connected or, you know, fleshed out storyline I've ever seen. But you know what? I commend them for trying, because it's a way to try and add a layer and an element to a comic book character. And I commend them for trying. And I mean, it was similar. We've seen some kind of repressed things, like, again, in The Dark Knight, where Christian Bale has flashbacks to, like, falling in a cave and, like, things his dad said to kind of help him. This was kind of along the same lines of, like, some origin story that was, you know, in this case, repressed dreams and kind of him trying to work through it. And you know what? I'm there for it. I'd rather them try something like this and maybe it not being the best executed story element, but at least they tried and it wasn't just kind of the same old one-dimensional superhero line. So I was okay with it. I'm there for that.
Okay. Now, what if I told you that there was originally a lot more shot? And that there was the original cut of the film goes much deeper into exploring Bruce's psyche, is a much darker film, much different tonally. And that it was altered, was told that it needed to be altered by Warner Brothers, who still wanted it to be a little cheesier, a little campier, a little this is a kids movie. Let's sell this to kids.
Right.
And that again, maybe not entirely finished, but certainly less work would need to be done than was needed to be done to the Snyder Cut. That there is a Schumacher cut that is either assembled or easily assemblable, sitting in the Warner Brothers vault somewhere.
So I did briefly read about this Schumacher cut, and I didn't read enough to comment on how legit, like how actual much of a cut it was, like if it's sitting in a room or, it just needs to be assembled. But I was aware that there was a lot of cut footage that could be put into a longer, more fleshed out version of the story. I would have been interested to see that. I mean, both for the change in tone, which would have been a contrast to the time that it came out. What was acceptable for kind of campy superhero movies in the 90s. And I definitely would have been there for kind of this kind of repressed, kind of deeper, psychologically troubled Batman and just having that kind of explored. So, I'd be there for that. I don't have as high expectations as, like, say, the Snyder Cut, but I would pay money to see that. The one hesitation I do have, and confirm whether this is true or not, this is just what I read. Apparently, to some degree, whether it was in there or just thought to be in there, but for this cut, from a scene that was cut from this, there was a scene where Batman fought a human-sized bat. And I don't know if I'm there for that, to be quite honest, just out of corniness.
There's an image on the internet of him face-to-face with a human-sized bat. But it's also like with a completely black background, so the image kind of seems like maybe in his head, it would be like a physicalization visual of him mentally wrestling with something. I don't know. I can tell you, and I don't know if this is this one and the same or if it's in any way related. There is there in the comics, in Batman's Rogue Gallery, there is a villain called Man-Bat, Dr. Kirk Langstrom,
Okay.
who is a scientist, and he experiments on himself at one point, and basically turns himself into a human-sized bat.
Dang.
And so that's
That's
yeah,
that.
that's
I mean, that would
potentially-
be kind of in line with that kind of storyline that was the repressed dream storyline, so that makes sense. Again, I don't know if I need that image. I'm not sure if I'm there for that. But
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what else you got written on your paper there?
What else I have written? So just the villains with Two-Face. I would agree. I'm not sure if I dislike Tommy Lee Jones specifically. I'm not a Tommy Lee Jones apologist, but I don't know if I want to chase him out of town. But I definitely was watching his role and his character, and I was going like, who is he? Like, I know his name, I know what he's doing, but like, who is he and why should I care? And there just wasn't as much depth as the other Two-Face that I've seen, other than that news clip. And I touched on this in my intro. Contrastly, or in contradiction, the Riddler was amazing. And this is great.
Yeah.
I could not care less about the Riddler as a comic book character, but just Jim Carrey in his true form just brought that character to life from the very first second he was on screen till the end of the film. He was incredible. Oh, yeah.
I have been known in my day-to-day conversations to use the term joygasm as a result of this movie. His portrayal. Now I'm really looking forward to Paul Dano's performance as the Riddler in the Batman, and it's obviously it's going to be a much different portrayal.
Oh yeah.
And so, this Riddler was maybe a little less mastermind, a little less true genius. I mean, he comes up with this technology that is clearly, he's a genius. But a little less like devious, a little less fixated on puzzles than maybe I would like him to be. But for what the portrayal is, it's he's over the top and he's fun and he's crazy and it's just a total blast and a fun ride anytime he's on screen. And watching kind of his transformation with the orange hair and then the eventually the true proper like comic accurate spandex suit. It's so good. It's so good.
I have to say it was quite a surprise because I was aware who he played, but I just had no interest in the Riddler. And I'm not like I'm a mediocre Jim Carrey fan. I just appreciate him, but I'm not a super fan by any means. But just it was just a situation of me appreciating good art, and I'll call it art because it was an artist in the form of an actor portraying a role. And it's just, I think that's the biggest accomplishment, that me, a fan who did not care about the Riddler, was just so fascinated by his role and portrayal of the Riddler. I think, again, just kudos to that. That was great.
Well, and it's clearly a performance from the golden era of Jim Carrey.
Correct.
Like, you can like this was him in the Ace Ventura days. This is him on the ball, bringing his A game.
Yep.
Something we haven't seen in a long time, with the exception of Sonic, which is like the one saving grace. What made Sonic so special is that it was like, oh my God, it's like 1990s Jim.
Right.
So.
Gadgets. The only thing I really, really, really enjoyed that I got a hoot out of was Bruce Wayne sitting in his office chair, having that little pod that he slipped into to like slide down to the Batcave. I was a fan of that. And the only thing I'll touch...
Like across the city.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't... And how do you install that?
Listen, when you're a billionaire, things happen.
Things, yeah.
And the only other thing I'll touch on is the peripheral characters. So we've got the same Alfred, which is fine.
I love him. I love him so much.
I know you do.
He is my Alfred. With the exception of the only Alfred I like more...
That's fair.
The only Alfred I like more than Michael Gough is the Alfred from the TV series Gotham. That man is incredible.
Interesting. We've got the same commissioner who was there for about like one scene, and actually it was mainly just to like be a kind of ruin a romantic rendezvous scene. We've got Nicole Kidman, who, I liked in this, and I was I think she grew a bit more in her ability to be more of her own peripheral character, but at the beginning, just around Batman, she was almost like a cat in Heat. It was a little embarrassing.
She was like super professional psychiatrist, except she's got a thing for bats. She just wants Batman so bad, and it's like it kind of made her character very stereotypical, very two-dimensional, and like was almost insulting to like just made her sort of a weak, pathetic, throw herself at the hero kind of character.
I would agree completely, and I feel like that she got like her character got away from that as the movie went on, but it was a little disappointing at the beginning that that's all she was doing.
Yeah.
Oh, and then into the category, I can't believe you just said that. Around one of these wooing Batman scenes with Nicole Kidman, Val Kilmer said, "It's the car, right? Chicks dig the car."
Yeah.
And finally, the last person, Robin. You know what? I didn't mind Robin. I don't know who the actor is. Not familiar with him. But at least, unlike Two-Face, at least Robin had some backstory that I was interested in and that I at least cared about and had some motivation for why he wanted revenge, and I got to live through that and get motivated by that. Completely just sign of the times with that earring. Like, it was just screaming 1995, but it is what it is. It is what it is.
I mean, yeah, they went with an older Robin here. Typically,
Sure.
Robin is a kid in the comics, but for obvious reasons, they were just able to give him a lot more depth. The problem with a comic accurate Robin in a film is you all of a sudden have to call into question the appropriateness of, this guy taking a 13-year-old boy to beat up criminals on rooftops and like
Right.
you're like, holy, let's get Children's Aid involved here. Let's
Right.
let's report this guy because so I like him. I definitely had the actor's name is Chris O'Donnell. I definitely had a Chris O'Donnell Robin action figure as a kid, hands down. He's it's a good portrayal. And there's a really great. Did you catch the nod to the Adam West Batman movies in this?
No.
So when they first land on, it's one of the best lines. It makes me laugh every single time, and a lot of people, it goes over their head. A lot of people don't get this. When they first land on the island base of Riddler and Two-Face,
Okay.
and Robin says to Batman, "Holy rusted metal, Batman."
Oh, okay.
And Batman says, "What?" And he says, "The ground. It's got holes in it." And then like stomps, and you can hear that it's like metal. And so it's like, it's clearly a fun nod to the 60s Batman.
Interesting. That definitely went over my head, and now that you're saying it, it's definitely the switch has gone off. That's interesting. Yeah, that's cool.
What do you think about the fact that Batman spends the whole movie lecturing Dick Grayson about not killing Two-Face?
He sure does.
And then he does something that I don't know what outcome aside from Two-Face dying could Bruce have been expecting.
Right.
And does it right in front of Robin. Like, what are your... That's always confused me and kind of rubbed me the wrong way.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah, I hear you. Yeah.
Did that stick out to you, or was it just eh?
I mean, no, it didn't really stick out. I guess it's just one of those things where it's in a lot of movies, it's always the revenge isn't the way to go. Look what happened to me. It scarred me. Learn from me. Don't follow my mistakes. And then usually 9 times out of 10, whoever the person in question is usually gets killed, the bad guy, the villain, whatever it is. And it seems that nothing really, like, there's some moral high ground that somehow someone gets to rest on, and it's just kind of that seems a bit of a cop-out. So I'm not really surprised by what we saw. I mean, I'm not surprised. Just the cinematic routine or template, it is what it is.
That's fair. Okay.
But I see what you're saying.
Else?
Like, I do think it's hypocritical or a little kind of raises an eyebrow.
Well, yeah, I mean, like, because then they kind of cut in on Robin, and Robin's got this, like, what the actual shit, Batman. Kind of like, look on his face, like, you know.
Yeah, pretty much.
But
I think in the director's cut, that's actually what he says.
yeah. In the Schumacher cut,
Schumacher
hashtag
cut.
Schumacher. Release the Schumacher cut. Yep.
Yeah.
Anything else?
No, that's all I got. Just the scores.
Cool. 0 to 10, sir.
So I gave this a 6.1 on my scale. So that falls into the category of like, I wouldn't see it in theaters, but I would, I'd put some effort into watching it. And like I said, I would maybe watch it again, potentially,
Right.
if the tea leaves line up. On Marshall's scale,
If there was like a, if there was in the bin of this Blu-ray was rented out like 200 times and now we're selling it for like $4, you
Yep.
might pick it up for $4.
that's completely it. I would definitely pay to rent it, and I would maybe like, if it was the in-between where it's like, oh, it's only $2 more to buy it than to rent it, I'd say, sure, what the heck, I think someday I'll watch it again.
Right. Okay.
On Marshall's scale, I gave it a 6. So a 6.1 or a 6, regardless how you cut it, it's very similar. I use an alternative rating scale that's a little bit more down to earth, that's just a number out of 10. My scale, it's very hanky-janky about how much effort I want to put into seeing the film. Marshall scale, it's just plain and simple, a 6 out of 10. But no matter how you cut it, a 6.1 or a 6. And for context...
Marshall
go ahead.
scale is the way that most of us rank movies.
It is.
Yeah.
For context, this is the second highest ranked Batman film we've watched.
Right. The first being the first. The second, I guess. The first Tim Burton.
The first being the 1989. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
What? I'm curious what you give it.
I give it a 7 out of 10.
Okay.
Which
yeah.
is lower than the last two I've given. Definitely higher than the 60s one. Definitely higher than the next one.
Sure.
But yeah, a 7 out of 10, and I'd be lying if I said that I didn't think that a lot of that score was a nostalgia factor.
Oh, for sure.
Even though by the time I was like 7 or 8, both, like, this film was out, and obviously so were the Tim Burton ones. I was probably allowed to watch, like, I became familiar with this one and the next one first, just because they were more friendly to the age that I was.
Oh, I see. Sure.
Know, so I kind of have that, in my, So,
Cool.
Yeah. I'm so excited, man. I don't have to ask you the question. I used to love asking you, and now
Sure.
anytime I ask you, I just feel like, oh well, could have been better.
Could have been better.
Take it away, Andrew.
Hi guys, this is Andrew from Jakarta. This week I watched The Woman in the Window. It was interesting while it lasted. What did you watch this week?
All right. I haven't seen that. In fact, the only Alfred Hitchcock movie I've seen is Vertigo, which you made me watch.
Right. So, as Andrew said, maybe you wouldn't pick up on the kind of the subtle hints of, Hitchcock nods or references that this movie was kind of paying homage to or what have you. But I haven't seen Woman in the Window either. I'm looking at the cast, and Amy Adams, Julianne Moore, Gary Oldman, and Anthony Mackie. I don't even, like, even before... I didn't know, I didn't look this movie up, but now that Andrew has recommended it, or at least said he hasn't recommended it, but he's seen it, and I'm looking at the cast, I'm like, hey, I might pop this on sometime. It looks good. 2020.
Woman in the Window.
The Woman in the Window.
Something's not right. So it wasn't wait. Something's not right.
No.
What? I'm gonna try his pay. Oh, okay. Yeah, right. Okay. pays homage to Rear Window, which is a okay. So this isn't an Alfred Hitchcock movie,
Right.
clearly, because it just came out. Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
I'm on board.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
I think I wanna check this out.
Why did Andrew ask us that question?
Oh, you want to know why? Well,
I asked.
we have this thing that will perpetually be open that you, the audience, the listener, can send us a message on Facebook Messenger, the audio clip, or an audio clip through email, where you tell us your name, where you're from, and what you watched that week, and what you thought about that film, and then you ask us what we watched, and it's a way for you to get on the show, and currently, it's a way for you to have a free entry into our draw, where we're giving away 3 $10 gift cards. At the moment, there are 3 $10 iTunes gift cards, but if you win and iTunes isn't your thing, we'll swap it out. Don't worry about that. But it's a draw that we're having. So if you send us an audio clip, you're automatically entered. And if you support us on Patreon, you are also automatically entered.
Yeah, I mean, iTunes isn't my thing, so don't sweat it.
Which is completely fine.
Yeah. So what did you watch?
So, next week, I might follow suit with what Andrew watched. I need to make time to watch The Woman in the Window. I'm curious to watch that. But what I watched this week is I watched a 2011 film with Kate Winslet called, I had it here, Carnage. It's called Carnage. It had Kate Winslet. Who else did it have? Oh my god. Oh my goodness, I am so bad with names. I'll jump back to this. I watched the third Lord of the Rings. I finally finished the extended 4K edition of Lord of the Rings. And not much to say. We'll review it someday. Maybe I'll get more into the meat and potatoes of it. But
The third Lord of the Rings, that is the way to do. Don't give me alternate endings as a DVD bonus feature. Just stack them in there. Show me ending after ending after ending after ending, and let me decide. Let me go, oh yeah, I like that one.
Yeah, I hear you. That I remember that being the case when I saw it almost 20 years ago, and it hasn't changed. So
no, so many endings. It's got like
it's
6.
Still a very cool movie, very strong trilogy. Will be a very interesting film series to tackle when we review it, just to separate the fact from the nostalgia. But it was fun finishing that trilogy in 4K. Absolutely loved it.
There is, and we will talk about this when we do Lord of the Rings on the show, which we will. We're talking about Christmas, I think. I think we're talking about Christmas time.
Or leading up to, or some such. Yeah.
Yeah. There's 2 amazing moments.
Okay.
That just give me chills.
Sure.
And you know what? Every Lord of the Rings film has an amazing Sam moment. Like my favorite moments from each film always include Sam. Like
Sure.
in Fellowship of the Ring, it's where he's Sam who can't swim, chases after Frodo right at the end, and he gets in the boat and he's crying and he's like, Gandalf said, "Don't you lose him, Mr. Frodo," and I don't mean to, and he's just like crying, and you're like, oh my god, like Sam is the greatest friggin' person in the world. The 2 moments in Return of the King that are just take my breath away, and I think they're incredible moments. One is when right at the end, right at the final push, when Sam says, "I can't carry it for you, Mr. Frodo, but I can carry you," and he like picks him up and just starts like endurancing his way up the mountain, and it's like, oh yeah, like it's just so powerful. And the other, and it's one of my favorite moments in cinema.
Wow.
Is during one of the many endings.
Yeah.
When they're in Gondor and Aragorn is finally rightfully wearing the crown. And the 4 hobbits kneel before him. Or go to kneel before him. And the king of Gondor looks at them and says, "My friends, you kneel to no one." And he kneels, and everybody else kneels, and it's just like I'm actually, I just got goosebumps. I just had chills like rush over my body thinking about it. It is an amazing moment. Just, yeah, my friends, you kneel to no one. Like, there's you are royalty for what you have done. All of this is because of you, and it's just it's breathtaking.
It does have some special moments. I'll give you that. There were some moments that I used to find special in that film that didn't give me the goosebumps anymore. So I think it's
oversaturation.
I think it's possible that might be the case. Of all the films, those three that are on my like top films to watch of all time, the third one does occasionally trickle down a bit further down my list, and it's still a great film, but it doesn't hold up as the other two do at this day at this day of time. And you know, things change; they flip flop a little bit in my perception of them. So Carnage, 2011 film, has Christoph Waltz, has Kate Winslet, Jodie Foster, John C. Reilly. It was a movie that was based on a play, and you could very much tell it was kind of like the Sunset Limited, where it was like that film that you made me watch a while ago, where it was like Tommy Lee Jones, Samuel Jackson.
That like it was I forced you to. It was a good film.
Oh, please, you don't misunderstand the way I said it. But I'm saying it's like that.
I typically do.
I'm just saying it was like that, and that was a very one scene film where it was mainly based on dialogue. The same was with this. It all was in real time, 4 actors essentially in a room, kind of just it was a fun film to see actors kind of acting. And that was it. It wasn't based on, action or based on changes in the scenery or things going on. It was just people pivoting on what they were kind of what they were acting on and acting towards, and it was very interesting to see in that regard. And it was familiar faces as far as the actors that we saw. So it was an interesting view. I don't know if I'd absolutely recommend that anyone needs to watch it. It's a very specific type of film, so I gave it a 6 out of 10. It was definitely decent, but I probably won't watch it again. The only other thing that I'm going to tease about next week when we watch something is because there's a tie to it this week. It has to do with Val Kilmer and one of the reasons he was eventually shooed in or sought for this Batman film, and it will be something I watched this week, and I'll talk about it next week.
Okay.
And with that, I ask, what did you watch this week?
Which Star Wars movies had I watched last week?
You had watched 6 in the order of 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 6.
Right. So I watched the final 3.
Okay. And obviously, like 7, 8, 9, like no funny business.
Yeah, 7, 8, 9. Yeah.
What did you think? What did you think of 9?
I have a question to answer. Yeah. Because you and I, we did the Star Wars series.
We did.
And then we both kind of thought that maybe it was like that 9 was our new favorite when we saw it. And last week you were saying you think that still holds up for you, and you were wanting to know my my appraisal of it.
Yeah.
I think that it's still the best of the sequel trilogy.
Okay.
It's maybe slipped just below some of the others.
Okay.
It's maybe, and people are going to blast me for this, and that's fine. But I think it slipped just below Revenge of the Sith.
Okay.
Which to me is a masterpiece.
For sure.
Movie.
For sure.
But maybe just like an argument could be made that the two are interchangeable.
And sorry, Revenge of the Sith. Just for context, it dip just below Revenge of the Sith. Would Revenge of the Sith be in the top third ish?
Yeah. So the top three in no specific order would be Return of the Jedi, Revenge of the Sith, and The Rise of Skywalker. Ironically, the third in all three trilogies.
Yeah, interesting. Okay.
Yeah. I watched 2 other films. So I watched 5 movies. I've been making up for the fact that I've been dropping the movie ball. Yeah. I watched the first Iron Man movie.
Okay.
And then I watched the Ed Norton, The Incredible Hulk. So I will just let your imagination draw whatever conclusions that may draw as to what it is that I'm currently doing.
I wonder.
Yeah. I wonder too. Yeah. Yeah.
Cool.
Wrap it up.
Excellent. Well, everyone, thank you for listening. Please like, follow, subscribe on all our social media links below: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Give us a good rate and review wherever you're listening. Check out our Patreon page and our merchandise page to help support and maintain the show's costs and expenses. Thank you to all our Patreon supporters for supporting us. We really appreciate it. Our shout outs for the month: we've got Marshall, we've got Daphne, we've got Brenna. Thank you for supporting us. Check out the Patreon page for the perks that you can get, and consider joining our Patreon page if you want to be entered into our current giveaway of 3 $10 iTunes gift cards. Like we said, iTunes, etc., something else. TBD.
Yeah, and future giveaways. It's not,
of course.
It's not like one
it's
and
not
done
a one
kind
no
of thing.
No. Well, okay. The next giveaway is going to be, I think, a $1 million jackpot. So that might tap us out, and that might be a one and done kind of thing.
Yeah, well, and it'll take a little bit. We're not quite. We'll make it work.
We'll figure it out.